99% of people in the crypto world don't really understand crypto. Shocking, right? In this video, I'm breaking it all down to show you exactly what I mean. It's one of the most surprising truths about this entire industry. There are countless influencers and big names out there, yet many of them, in my opinion, barely grasp the true potential of this technology. They haven't even scratched the surface. In this video, I'll connect the dots between their limited understanding and XRP. Trust me, this will completely shift how you see the crypto space and show you just how different we are from the crowd. Let's kick off this video with something intriguing before diving into the main topic. Earlier today, BitMEX, one of the biggest derivatives exchanges, dropped an eye-catching tweet. They teased some news that could send shockwaves through the market. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Could this be tied to CME's XRP futures? BitMEX specifically tagged Ripple in the tweet, making it clear this is Ripple or XRP. It's fascinating to see a major player like BitMEX stepping into this space. What's even more intriguing is the shift we're witnessing. Companies that once dismissed Ripple or XRP are now eagerly knocking on the door for partnerships within this growing ecosystem. It's pretty clear why, right? For years, skeptics doubted Ripple's ability to disrupt the market, but now it seems like the tides are turning in Ripple's favor and the strategy is paying off in a big way. Many doubted institutional adoption would ever become a reality. The belief was that cryptocurrency would thrive as a playground for retail investors, with legacy institutions fading into obscurity. But that dream, clear now, it was never meant to be. The truth is, the same qualities that attract retail investors to crypto, trustless systems, instant settlements, and decentralized global transactions are just as essential for financial institutions. The key difference, these institutions serve hundreds of millions of users who may not grasp the underlying tech themselves. And let's face it, these institutions are stuck operating on outdated systems from the 1960s. They need this technology as much as the retail world does, if not more. People want better technology, and cryptocurrencies are leading the charge to close that gap. But here's the catch. Most crypto projects have been laser focused on individual retail users, leaving a huge opportunity untapped. Ripple took a different path. Instead of chasing the retail crowd, Ripple set its sights on the giants, large financial institutions. Their goal, revolutionize outdated systems by bringing these institutions on board and upgrading their infrastructure with cutting-edge blockchain tech. By focusing on this long-term vision, Ripple gained a massive head start. While others scrambled to build consumer-driven products, Ripple was busy partnering with the world's biggest banks, preparing them for the seismic shifts ahead. It's a bold, strategic approach, and it's paying off. Honestly, I've always been on board with Ripple's approach. It just made sense. For years, people doubted that banks would ever embrace cryptocurrency. They'll stick to private networks, they said. Well, guess what? Times are changing fast. Take Fireblock's recent report. 90% of banks are now exploring stablecoins. Let that sink in. It's shocking how quickly this shift is happening. This isn't just a small step. This is a seismic shift. With 90% of banks gearing up for stablecoins, we're talking about a market transformation that could bring trillions of dollars into these ecosystems. At the end of the day, everything circles back to these ecosystems. There's simply nothing else like them. One of my biggest concerns about cryptocurrencies, something I've often discussed, is the possibility of a groundbreaking technology emerging that makes crypto obsolete. Imagine this. For years, we believed crypto was the future, the game changer. Then suddenly, out of nowhere, a shiny new tech arrives and boom, crypto becomes yesterday's news. But here's the reality. No such technology has surfaced. Right now, cryptocurrencies remain the leading innovation in transforming global settlement infrastructure. They're not just sticking around, they're paving the way. When you take a step back, it's clear that this tech isn't going anywhere. Retail users are finding ways to tap into it, and institutions are diving into. If you take a step back and look at the bigger picture, it's clear which cryptocurrency project is making real moves with institutions. It doesn't take much digging to see Ripple and XRP leading the charge, yet so many people seem stuck chasing odd narratives, gaming tokens, digital art, and these niche sectors that barely scratch the surface of crypto's real potential. At its core, the use case for cryptocurrency couldn't be more straightforward. Instant global settlement. That's it. Financial institutions shift massive amounts of money daily, but imagine the efficiency if those transfers happened instantly, securely, and in a decentralized system. It's not rocket science, it's practical, it's needed, and it's Ripple's mission. And yet some of the brightest minds in the market seem to miss the forest for the trees. A perfect example of this is captured in Rob Hall's video, which really drives the point home. Rob Hall, a former Goldman Sachs guy, is undeniably brilliant. Don't get me wrong. I'm not calling Rob an idiot here, but I can't help finding it amusing that someone so deeply embedded in this space seems laser focused on things I'd call nothing burgers while missing what could be the biggest disruption to the industry. These cryptocurrency networks aren't just a passing trend. They're on the verge of revolutionizing everything. Let me show you what I mean. Here's a clip of Rob Hall talking about XRP, and I think it perfectly illustrates a key point. Most people in crypto just don't get it. They're steeped in this world, but fail to see the bigger picture, how this technology will roll out, how it's going to be used, and most importantly, how it's going to transform the world. Now, check this out. This part is really something. That XRP chart is just something to behold, Rob says. None of us have really been involved in XRP, but that chart, it looks like it's set for another big leg higher at some point. That's pretty much the gist of what they'll say about XRP. Honestly, I like how he's hyped, calling the chart super bullish. It's exciting, sure, but let's be real. Basing everything on a chart pumping feels like such a shallow way to analyze the market, right? For me, it's not about the short-term spikes. I'm asking, what's the actual purpose here? Is it solving a real problem? If not, it's just another fad that'll vanish with the hype. I couldn't care less about flashy charts if there's no substance behind them. What I want is something I can invest in, forget about, and come back in 10 or 15 years to say, wow, I can't believe I bought it at that price. That's the kind of gem I'm after. And you only find those by looking for tech that solves real world problems and creates a ripple effect, a network so transformative, we can't imagine life without it. That's where XRP and the XRP ledger come in. It's one of the rare cryptocurrency networks is actually hitting that mark, disrupting the game in ways that feel impossible to ignore. For me, that's exactly why XRP grabs my attention. But here's the thing. On this podcast, you've got people like Raul Paul and others deeply entrenched in the crypto space, right? They've built massive audiences with thousands of followers hanging onto their every word. Yet they don't even grasp the basics of what XRP actually is. All they do is glance at a chart and go, oh, wow, that might go up. Seriously? That's their analysis? Where does that even take you? Now, think about the most successful companies in the US over the past 25 years. What do they all have in common? Every single one succeeded for a reason. They created a product or service so essential, it became a cornerstone of how we live. That's what real investing is about. It's not just chasing charts. It's identifying the core shifts in the world, spotting inefficiencies that need solving, and finding the technology or company ready to solve them. We're not talking about the problem with the XRP ledger. We're talking about the problem the XRP ledger is designed to solve. We pointed that out at the start of the video. It's wild to me how some people look at these networks and reduce everything to a chart. But it's so much bigger than that, right? It's about long-term success. What's the thesis? Why are people bidding on the chart? What's driving the price up? These are the real questions you need answers to. If you can't answer them, you're just guessing. You're not even sure what you're buying. You're just chasing numbers going up. Sure, you can make quick trades that way. But if we're talking about real investing, backing the underlying network and believing in the technology's potential, you need to understand why it will matter in the future. Otherwise, you're flying blind. What's the big picture? What's the long-term value here? These are the questions more people need to be asking and answering. That's why I respect the XRP community. Unlike most, we focus on the real-world utility of cryptocurrency. Sure, the concept is exciting, but we're asking the critical question, what's actually going to be used for? I'm not here to chase quick gains or ride the hype for a few months, cash out, and move on to the next trendy coin. Nope, I'm searching for the next Amazon, Apple, or Tesla, something revolutionary with staying power. And that's where I think XRP stands out. The truth is, 99% of people in crypto just don't get it. If they did, everyone would be talking about XRP. It's not about hype. It's about undeniable potential. And once you see it, it's hard to look away. One day, I truly believe it's going to happen. But in the same way everyone talks about Apple now, it'll be the skeptics, the latecomers, the ones who missed the first 15 years of the iPhone's rise to mass adoption. You could have shown them the iPhone back then. You could have demonstrated the countless things it could do that their old phones couldn't. And they still would have shrugged and said, I don't get it. Why? Who knows? Maybe they just couldn't see the future. They'd claim it was overhyped, overvalued, destined to fail, every excuse in the book. But the truth is simple. They never understood the technology. They couldn't grasp why it would become so essential, something people simply couldn't live without. That's what sets our approach to this ecosystem apart. We see it through a unique lens. It's why we're one of the few communities that truly understands this industry on a deeper level. Thank you for being here. I hope you found this update inspiring.